to start this video, this live broadcast a little early. Let everyone get a chance to come in and sign in. It also gives me a second to get all your comments pulled up. I've got them on my main phone, but I've got my iPad here too. Hopefully I can bring that and keep that off camera. Bring this down here. How's it going, guys? We're just slowly getting set up. I am taking over Gitty Gang today. And yeah, that's perfect here. Let's get this show on the road. Here, Cigar Box Nation, live, and there we go. All right. What's going on here? Come on. Work with me, baby. Here we go. So we got Philip, we got Caesar, we got Keith. Hey guys, hey everyone. I'm gonna do one thing. I'm gonna walk off camera for 1 second. And it's the first time in a long time that I've done a Gitty Gang. And just getting all the details right, guys. Playing this guitar a lot lately. We'll get into it. The show hasn't officially started yet. You guys are kind of in early. I've been working on there. Is that something you want to learn? Is that a lesson you guys want? Jack and Diane? All right, let's get this started. Let's get this started. Hey guys, it's Shane Speal and welcome to the Gitty Gang Show. Here I am in my basement. I've got cigar box guitars. I have got new historical antique instruments to show off. We're going to do some music. We're going to talk. I got the winner of that guitar giveaway I was doing a couple weeks ago. I'm going to announce the winner and even talk about a little bit of Blind Willie Johnson. So, all right, let's start off with a song. Gitty always starts off with a song. It's Friday. Let's do drinking beer. the ocean was beer, I'd probably drink the whole damn thing up. Drink a beer, drink it in the morning. Drink a beer, drink it in the afternoon. Drink a beer, doing whatever it takes. Drink a beer, I'm drinking with my boys, the snakes. Said the wine is fine, give me lots of beer. Wine is fine, give me lots of beer. In heaven there is no beer, that's why we drink it here. And when we're gone from here, our friends will drink up all the beer. All right. Hey, Gitty Gang Show. Yes. Everybody, let's see your comments out there. I got some comments going here. So many people watching. Oh, we got Ray Nutter watching. Ray Nutter, one of the original members of Jug Fusion. Hey, Brother Ray. So, what I'm playing here, this is my GS Monroe 4-string cigar box guitar. This was all over my album Stay Primal. I gotta remember, I'm looking at this camera and not this camera I have here. I keep looking up, and I need to be looking at you guys. All right, so this is an old Custa Ray massive cigar box, over 100 years old, and GS Monroe built this. He had built a few of these, and we were pushing them on CB Gitty for a while, and I think he ran out of boxes, but I've been playing this ever since. You can see by my wear marks. Recently, I added a lace pickup in here. Do you remember that video I did where I put the lace pickup in one of those cheap bookstore cigar box guitars that they sell? Well, I took that pickup and I ended up putting it in here for live shows, and it works really well. I have this thing dialed in that the action is so low. I don't play slide on this guitar. This is all fretted. Hey, we got Ben Gitty Baker out there. Ben, I hope you're enjoying your day. I got the show for you, man. So, I have this guitar dialed in so that I can do all fretted work. Usually on cigar box guitars, if I'm playing slide, that action is way high. I don't know if you, there we go. You can see how high the action is on here. And we'll get to this in a little bit. But for this, I wanted it to be a fretted instrument so that I could do all these different chords, you know, and just, what is that? You're always room for Led Zeppelin. This guitar will even do Lionel Richie. You know it sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain. Till I'm leaving here tomorrow. No, I'm not going into that right now. But I have really light gauge strings. Usually when I'm playing slide, I have heavier gauge strings. This has really got light gauge strings. Now, the other day, one of the frets was coming up high. You know, it's winter time. There's changes in humidity, and frets will move in and out. And I had to point this out. This is a CB Gitty economy fret crowning file. And I really wanted, it's a definite shout out thing. Gitty has these, they're $12.99 at cbgitty.com. And one of the frets was high here, and all I had to do was loosen the strings. I pulled the strings around the side and used this and slowly filed that fret down. And the thing was, I left the strings on. That way I could put them back, tighten them up, and see if that fret was fixed or not. This is great. $12.99 for a fret file is fantastic. And I just saw a quote. It was Adam Savage from Mythbusters, and people asked him, what tools should I buy? And he said, start out buying the cheap tools. And I mean, this is a well working piece here, but he said, don't spend a lot of money on your tools. Buy cheap tools and use them. If something breaks, then that specific tool, go and buy the expensive one. In other words, if the cheap ones are working well for you, there's no need to spend all that extra money. So this is why, personally, I've gone through Gitty's catalog and bought just about every tool he's had. They're, economy priced, and they work. And this one really worked for me today. Again, this is the Economy Fret Crowning File over at CB Gitty. And it really made this guitar play great again. So, let me see. I'm going to take a look at some of your comments here. They kind of disappear from my iPad as I'm playing. We got Rob Rebel. Rob, I've been doing Gitty's Instagram and Cigar Box Nation's Instagram in the last week, and Rob Rebel has been posting some of the most beautiful guitars. His necks, the fretboards on them, Rob came up with this design on his fretboards where there is a different color wood just on a quarter of the fretboard going up to the 12th fret. And then at the 12th fret, it switches to the other side and goes up there. Absolutely beautiful. It is just masterworks. Let's see. We got people here from France. Wow, from Florida. Louis Lamont is there. And all you guys, thank you so much for joining me. It feels good to be in front of the camera again. It's been a while since I've done a live show. It's actually been over a year since my band has performed live. And people keep asking me, when are you playing? When are you playing? Trust me, we have not broken up. We're rebuilding the entire band. I've talked about this before. We're rebuilding the instruments, and the show is going to be theatrical. Instead of being a blues band, think of us as becoming a jug band version of the Blue Man Group, where you go to a show and it's an actual stage production. So that's why we haven't been out and about. So much happening. So let me see. Okay, a lot of people are just checking in right now. I'm going to keep the show going. I want to tell you some of the things that have been going on. First of all, in one of my What's the Deal with Speals, I talked about how people have been donating to cigarboxguitars.com, my museum website. They've been donating because I post about the history of these instruments. And I told them if people would make those donations, then I'm going to do things with them. Well, a few people sent some donations to that again, and I was able to purchase some of the instruments from Bill Yaley's Cigar Box Guitar Museum collection. And even more important, I was able to purchase a lot of photographs from him. Now, Bill Yaley is just retiring. He still has more books in the works and still has other things, but he's downsizing. So he contacted me and a few other people and wanted to see if we were interested. So whenever I got those donations in, I was like, immediately went to Yaley, and I got a ton of photos. But here's just one to give you an idea of what I'm looking at. All these photos, I'm going to be taking them. I contacted David Sutton, who is the author of Obsessed with Cigar Box Guitars. This is over at stubbyslide.com, autographed. But I called him up and I said, how do I preserve these? So he showed me how to archive all the photos, what type of acid-free envelopes to put everything in so that it's good and preserved for a long time. I'm going to be scanning these. Some of them I'm going to be putting on the internet. Some I may hold back because I would like to do a follow-up to my book, Making Poor Man's Guitars. In fact, I'd like to do a couple more books. So that all depends on my publishing company. So the other thing I got from Bill Yaley is I got a couple instruments. Some of them were actually part of my collection many years ago. I had sold him some of my collection. Times were tough at the, I had young kids and I couldn't keep all these antiques from my original collection, and Yaley stepped up and purchased them for me. Well, now that he's retiring, I'm starting to get some of them back. And there is one that I definitely wanted. This is not antique. This is contemporary. But in my study of the origins of the cigar box guitar, this was a thing. This is from Morocco. In Africa, this is called a gimbri. Now there is a main version of the gimbri from Morocco, and it is a long rectangular instrument that sounds in the bass range. But makers also do strange shapes like this as well. And hold on, somebody's texting me. And it is 3 strings. The strings are made from twine. The body is this square, looks like almost like a photo frame, but it's either goat skin or it's camel skin. And the neck does not go the whole way through like a cigar box guitar. The neck ends right here, and a hole has been cut into the skin so that the butt end of the neck, you can tie the strings there. This is very similar to our cigar box guitar design. And you see why I wanted to get this, because I was looking at some of the African origins of the cigar box guitar. I'm going to be doing a full photo set, information, digging up the history over at cigarboxguitars.com. Give me time. I got other things going on. Give me time. It'll get there. Let me see, make sure I'm not missing any questions about this. But I'll play a little. Now, in Morocco, especially in the gimbri, this is interesting. They play clawhammer style. You know how Louis Lamont just taught a class on how to play clawhammer banjo for cigar box guitar? Clawhammer is where you're raking down with your fingertips, the backs of your fingertips. And that's how they play their gimbri, which is very interesting because we're talking about connections between old American instruments and Africa and elsewhere. Now again, I am not a clawhammer player, and this is strange because this does not have a nut. Usually we would see something like this as a nut to hold the strings up and to stop them, and you know, the tuners are back there. No, this was made without a nut. The strings are just free here, and most likely the performer would only fret 1 string at a time, because if you tried to fret all 3 and it was in a chord, it would be out of tune. So this is the gimbri. It's very cool. I purchased this somewhere around, I'm thinking 2004, 2005. It's got the cool handprint on the front. It's got a dagger and a scorpion and an axe on the back. There's still a little bit of hair left from the deceased animal that went into making this thing, but it's just another cool thing. And quite honestly, I want to do some photo sets, and then I want to get people talking about, okay, let's look at this design. It's similar to what we're doing with cigar box guitars. Can we make something like this? Has anyone messed with skin heads? And you know, look at it. This instrument has been around since, you know, 2004, like I said, and this head is holding fine. So who knows what we can make. It's always my goal to get you guys building new and exciting things, because for me, that's awesome. And new exciting things lead to new and exciting songs. And it's all about the music for me. Always all about the music. Okay, Jimbo Burt said, where do you find these classic instruments? This one I found from a website back in the day that sold world instruments. I also bought a sitar from them. That's long gone. But other instruments like this, I buy on eBay. And I wrote an article for, I had a magazine for a short time called Poor Man's Guide. And in it, I talked about my eBay habits. And this instrument, I have no idea. It didn't come with history. But I was doing a search for homemade instruments on eBay. And this was probably back in 2003, 2004. And I found this. The seller thought it was African. And it is just carved out of one massive piece of wood. It looks like there's a tuner hole in there. and it's got this piece of tin as a soundboard. Now, they said it was African, but I'm not sure because I don't recognize that design in African art. That kind of looks Dutch to me or something. Here's the thing. Now that I have this again, I'm going to be doing a full photo set, giving you guys all the measurements. And then we're going to take a look and maybe try to identify the wood so we can tell where it came from and figure out what this is. Now, there's nothing in the back to show where a string was held. And I don't see any marks for a bridge. So there is a possibility that this was not a musical instrument. Of all things. But I think back in the day I found it on eBay for $25. And, you know, you got to say yes. When you're a collector, you got to say yes. So this is one of the ones that came from the Bill Yaley collection that originally came from my collection. Back in my hands again. You guys are going to see more of it. Here's one really cool thing that he had discovered. Now, first of all, I've shown you guys this before. This is the Marxillin, where it's a one-string slide guitar that was sold door to door. And it was sold in magazines and elsewhere. This is all from the Hawaiian music boom that started around 1915 and went for the next 10 to 20 years. Hawaiian music was huge. Hawaiian slide guitar. Well, Bill Yaley had found another one from the same company with a different body design. And this is another Marxillin from the Marx Music Company of New Troy, Michigan. Now, I wrote about this one in cigarboxguitars.com, but now I have another one from this, and just pretty cool. It does not have the slide anymore, but I'm still excited to have it. Okay. Let me see. Another instrument that I got back from Bill Yaley, and I'm really happy to have this back. This doesn't look like much, but if you were part of the cigar box guitar movement back when it was the old Yahoo group, there was so much magic going on. And one of the people that was really part of it was Stacy Puckett. And Stacy has performed at the Chicago Cigar Box Guitar Fest. Well, this was built when he was out of work, and he and his wife had ended up in Como, Mississippi, which is the hometown of R.L. Burnside. And Stacy and his wife and his kids were living in a fishing shack. And he would get online and he'd make these instruments and try to sell them just for some money. And this is one of the ones that I bought from him. And it is so creaky. It's a couple old pans and fishing parts. I have no idea what this neck was. Some sort of tool. And just... and then a string breaks. Haha, live TV. Live TV. But it's just a cool instrument that reminds me of back in the day when we were starting out and the community was so tight. So I have my Stacy Puckett guitar back, and I am so happy about it. Let me take a look at your comments. I saw a few things. In here, Michael Carell said, could a string be attached to one peg and stretched behind the body up the head to be attached to another peg? So, he's wondering if you could take a string, run it through here, run it around the back to the other. Yeah, you could. However, with this, the neck has been carved out of here. So if a string went back here, it would be in your way of playing. I'm not sure really what this story is. And, you know, I don't know. Part of me wonders if it is some sort of other tool for something else. I don't know. It'll be cool to get some photos up, get the discussion going, and let you guys help me be sleuths. Okay. I'm going to put a couple things down before they start falling everywhere. It has been a lot going on behind the scenes. I've posted some stuff. If you go to my YouTube, a lot of you guys follow me on YouTube. I did an unboxing for the Jazzitha, another one-string instrument from 1927. And I've been getting some instruments in. I've been cataloging a lot of my instruments. Just trying to make sure I'm not missing anything. Make sure I'm not losing any information. Because you collect these instruments and you document some stuff, but you may lose the papers after a while. So I've been going back and getting as much information about all my stuff, and it takes a lot of time. The other thing that I've been doing behind the scenes is I have taken almost all of my how to play cigar box guitar lessons from YouTube, and I've also uploaded them to Facebook now. If you try to share things on Facebook, and if it's a YouTube link, Facebook doesn't want people to see it, so they kind of like push it down. Well, I took almost every one of my cigar box guitar lessons. I put them on Facebook at the Shane Speal Snake Oil Band page. In fact, I think I posted a link to that in the description to this live video. And I've scheduled them to run one a day. So it's kind of repeats. It's kind of like watching Mayberry reruns, especially if you've followed all of my lessons. However, there's so much information in there. I know that there's a lot of things you may have forgotten about. There's a lot of things I forgot about. So make sure you're following the Shane Speal Snake Oil Band page on Facebook, because once a day at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, you're going to get a brand new how to play cigar box guitar video, and then share it with others. There's a lot of good CB Gitty stuff in with those, but I just wanted to get you guys still playing, and there's so much good stuff, and there's so many videos I made over the years. I'm digging back 5 years back, and I can't believe it's like, oh, I forgot about this lick. I don't even play this lick anymore. I need to bring this back out. So that's what's going on. Let me stop. Let me take a look at your comments one more time here. Michael Capato said that this looks like it could be an oar, a hunk of an oar. You know what? I think you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. This is probably a boat oar. I need to get a hold of Stacy and see if he remembers making this. It would make sense. He was living in a fishing shack, and there's fishing parts here. You know what the other cool thing about Stacy Puckett's story is first of all, he started out in Christian heavy metal. Back in the 80s, he was in a band that was pretty big around, and then that ended, and he was doing stuff in Nashville. So you think about this. He was first in heavy metal, had the hair, was touring around America. Then he moved to Nashville as a singer-songwriter. Then things were tough, and he and his wife moved to Tacoma, Mississippi for a while. From Mississippi, he ended up moving to Chicago. But he didn't have money. So he was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I need to go up to Chicago. And of all things, I said, hold on, I know Glenn Kaiser. And he goes, yeah, I've worked with Glenn back when I was in Christian metal. I said, Glenn's got a homeless shelter up there and he helps people out. So I contacted Glenn. Glenn had his daughter on the case, brought Stacy up, got him a home, got him set up. Stacy ended up working for Washburn Guitars for a while after that. And he just kind of lived almost every pure, true cliche of music in one life. Now, I'm not sure. I've lost contact with him. I need to get a hold of him. I love the guy. But he's always fascinated me that he went from one thing to another. So, Stacy, I love you if you're watching. I love you, man. So, this is not a cigar box guitar. Next thing in here, I want to tell you, in addition to doing my museum stuff, I've also been doing a personal study of the music of Blind Willie Johnson. In fact, his playing style. Now, a lot of people are into Blind Willie Johnson because of the slide, and I am too. If you don't know the story, Blind Willie Johnson started out, his dad made him a one-string cigar box guitar, probably looked a lot like this, back when he was like 5 years old. His mother died, his dad got remarried, and at one point his dad got in a fight with his stepmother, and she took a handful of Red Devil Lye and threw it in Willie's eyes, blinding him. Well, as it went on, he made his living as a blind street performer, playing gospel blues on the streets. He started with this. He learned how to play slide on this. In fact, he used a pocket knife as a slide. And then he eventually graduated to a Stella guitar. Now, this is a Tolino from the 60s, but he would use Stella guitars that are similar with the floating bridge and the birch tops. And I love Blind Willie Johnson. You know, I was so intrigued with him that I heard that he played with a pocket knife, that I got these. This is the Edge slide, and it is supposed to approximate Blind Willie Johnson's pocket knife. And it's so cool. Yeah, these are at stubbyslide.com, just by the way. But I was listening to a lot of his music, and everybody talks about Blind Willie Johnson's slide guitar. And that's what he's known for, especially for like Dark Was the Night, Cold Was the Ground. It goes like this, and if you know nothing of Blind Willie Johnson, that's what you're doing this weekend. You're going to learn about him. You're going to go on Spotify. You're going to go on YouTube. You're going to learn about Blind Willie Johnson. He's awesome. So here's the thing. Everybody talks about Blind Willie Johnson's slide playing, but only half of his songs had slide. And other songs he played in standard tuning, you know, just typical cowboy chords as he's doing stuff. But then there is a third style of Blind Willie Johnson that has been kicking my butt. It is very simple. And what he does is he has his guitar tuned either open E or open D. And it's in songs like Jesus Is Coming Soon, When the War Was On. There's so many of them like this where all he's doing is, and this is what's driving me crazy, is I was trying to do finger picking like everybody said he played, probably with a thumb pick and finger picks, and he would play only 3 notes throughout an entire song. Something like this. And I was listening, and it's like, okay, he's hitting this note here. It's a 3rd fret of the 3rd string. 2nd fret, open, and then the 2nd fret of the 2nd string. But my picking hand just wouldn't work. And I was trying thumb picks and finger picks, and the beauty of YouTube is you can put, his songs are on YouTube, and you can put his song on, and then you can slow it down to half the speed, but it doesn't change the pitch. They just, you know, digitally, they slow it down. And so I'm listening, and it didn't make sense. And I even contacted Glenn Kaiser on this, because Glenn released 2 albums with a lot of Blind Willie Johnson music. In fact, he was the one that I learned all of Blind Willie Johnson stuff from. It was Glenn's albums. And Glenn had no idea. I was sending him my theories, and he was going back and forth with me that he just couldn't figure it out either. And you know, Willie's stuff was recorded in 1927 and 1930. And I'm looking at what plectrums were they using, and everybody, you know, you talk to these blues guys, and the Delta, everyone's in the Delta stuff is, you got to play finger picking, you got to play, you got to do finger picking, that's all they did. I'm realizing, I have a feeling Blind Willie Johnson was one of the first to adopt a flat pick in the blues realm. He was close to Dallas. Flat picks were used in mandolins. They were around in music stores. If he had to get strings or whatever, he had to go to music stores. And being that he already had a couple different styles, shows me that Blind Willie Johnson probably experimented with different styles. Because once I picked up a flat pick and tried Blind Willie's stuff, it made sense. And he would just do that simple lick over and over. And then in some songs he would capo up and, you know, take it maybe to the third fret. And the flat pick is giving me the sound that he was having. I mean, I even went as far as getting this in a very rare album from Smithsonian Folkways. And it was when Samuel L. Charters was trying to search down in Texas to see if Blind Willie Johnson was still alive. The fascinating thing about this album is they interview his wife. And you can hear her talking. I mean, he had died just several years before they met her. But she just talked so lovingly about him. Blind Willie Johnson, Smithsonian Folkways. There's only a couple of his songs on there. But man, wow. It was weird to hear a legend's wife talk about him and how he would play. So let me check the comments real quick. And Michael Carroll said he's been experimenting with Justin Johnson's tuning for 4-string. He said it came close to Skip James' tuning. Very cool. Here's, you know, that's one of the things I noticed whenever I was moving a lot of my videos over to Facebook. They're still on YouTube, but is that I do so much on change tunings. Mess with your tunings, guys. Have fun with those tunings. So if you're experimenting with tunings, awesome. That's what I want to hear. So I wanted to take a look at the Blind Willie Johnson thing. If he's doing that simple 3 notes, I can actually move that over to Cigar box guitar because it's tuned in a chord. So if I do those 3 notes that he played over and over, I'll get this bottleneck slide here. So you have, that's close to being in tune. All I'm doing is on the high string going from 3 to 2 to open, and in the middle string I am playing on the 2nd fret. So it kind of gives you this drone blues, and then you can work with it and add some to it. In the year of 1918, God sent a mighty disease, killed many 1,000 on the land and on the seas. The great disease was mighty, the people were sick everywhere. No, it was an epidemic floated through the air. We've been told God done warned us Jesus is coming soon. We've been told God done warned us Jesus is coming soon. Well, a noble told the people, close your public schools until the bitter end and music everywhere. You know it was an epidemic, really floated through the air. People told me, our God warned us, Jesus is coming soon. We've been told, God done warned us, Jesus is coming soon. Soldiers died on the battlefield, died in the cities too. Captain said to the lieutenant, I don't know what to do. We've been told, God done warned us, Jesus is coming soon. We've been told, God done warned us, Jesus is coming soon. Read the book of Zechariah, Bible plainly explains. People, they were dying on account of their wicked ways. We've been told, God done warned us, Jesus is coming soon. We've been told, God done warned us, Jesus is coming soon. Yeah. Jesus is coming soon. A little closer to what he did in his guitar work than my version from the original Jug Fusion album. Michael Capato wanted to know what tuning this was. This is open G, my usual open G. I'll be doing a lesson on this. I'll be doing a proper YouTube lesson on this. Give me time. But it's definitely something I actually want to do a little more research before I do the YouTube lesson, because I want to bring all the history in. I want to make sure that I'm getting certain facts right, and I want to introduce people to Blind Willie Johnson. Let's see what we got here. Dan's been looking for tab for John the Revelator. I got a John the Revelator story. Government Mule did a version of that, and this was back in the late 90s, and this is back when I was building cigar box guitars for them. And after one show one night, I was at the same hotel, and Alan Woody came up to my room and we were talking. I had a mandolin in there, and I'm like, Alan, you got to show me what you're doing for John the Revelator. And he showed me his lick on there. Never forget it. So good, so good. I could tell my voice is not there. I haven't sung in so long for you guys. I did want to show this off. These are back over at Stubby Slide. The hand-cut bottleneck slides are part of a new pack I have called the Glass Pack. Oh, the singing. The Glass Pack is just 3 stubby glass slides. There's a brown bottle. There's a hand-cut bottleneck and the snake oil medicine bottle slide, and they come in this gig case. So I just put those up this week, and the Glass Pack at stubbyslide.com. Whew! All right. Did I tell you the winner? I didn't go over the winner yet, did I? I was last couple weeks I was giving away a guitar, the CB Gitty Bucker test guitar. And I had finally chosen a winner after all that time. It was on Valentine's Day. The winner was Brian Q. Now, Brian is on here sometimes. I don't know if Brian's in the comments now. But Brian is also one of the most active members of CigarBoxNation.com. And I had just picked a random number and then went through however many comments were made over at CigarBoxGuitars.com, and it ended up being Brian. And quite honestly, he had a bit of an advantage because he comments on everything. He adds so much information, whether it be on my site, whether it be here on Facebook. or over at cigarboxnation.com. So Brian Q, I know you got the guitar. I'm so happy you have it because you deserve it. All right, let's see, where are we at here? Dan said he loves my playing. Thank you so much. And the knowledge and the stories. Guys, the reason I got into cigar box guitars was my love of the blues. That's what it's all about for me. Back in the day, whenever I built my first in 93, and I've said this a billion times to you guys, but this was days before the internet, long before the internet. And I was sitting in college taking out Smithsonian records, learning about all these old blues guys, and I kept wanting to go deeper and deeper. You know, for me, it started with Hendrix's Red House, and then I learned about Muddy Waters and Hound Dog Taylor. Hound Dog blew my mind. And then I kept going backwards, and I hit the Delta guys, and then I started to hit the guys that were out of tune and creaky, and I was like, oh my God, that's the music I love. It was, you know, for me, I had a metal and a punk background, and especially in the punk stuff, which isn't perfect. And so some of these old Delta guys, they weren't perfect, but they were awesome. And so I wanted to play a music that was like one step deeper than the Delta blues, and I read about cigar box guitars in an old article, and I made my first. But that's what it's all about. It's these stories. That's why I spend so much time teaching you guys history. That's why half my book is about history, and it's to inspire you guys. If I'm sitting here just, you know, teaching you how to make another instrument with like no foundation to it, what's the use? Serious. I love this. I love it. This stuff. This is the stuff of life. So let me see. I have a list of things. I've pretty much gone through most of my list of what I wanted to show you guys and talk about. Are there any other questions? I would love to answer any other questions. Oh wow, Louis Lamont, I saw that someone was looking for John the Revelator, and Louis just posted the chords that they need. Louis, you're awesome, man. Just going through anything else. No, I think we're good. I think we are good. All right. I don't even know what time it is right now. Where are we at? Go away here. We're almost there. Full hour. So good. I won't get fired. But that's about all I have for you guys. I wanted to just let you know that I'm really appreciative of all the support you've given me, especially those who have donated. You have no idea how many photos and things I have. I even have a set of how to make a mandolin out of a ham can that is not posted yet. And so I'm going to be putting that over at cigarboxguitars.com in the evening one of these nights. I'm going to be spending a lot of time at my photo scanner going through all these photos and cleaning them up, making them look good, and sharing a lot with you guys. The band is coming back. The band is coming back. We're writing songs. We are still, the drum set is mostly done as far as its setup. Now, what we need to add with the drum set, that's the drum trigger drum set that I was showing in earlier episodes. And the set itself, I need to go into the programming part and get all the sounds correctly. After that, we just add a lot of junk to it to make sure it looks like it's something from a junkyard, because our show is going to be it's really going to look like Fat Albert's Junkyard Gang, where you're going to see this old, maybe 1930s, 1940s looking junkyard, where half the stage props are actually instruments, and throughout the show I or someone else from the band will pick up something and play it. That's where, a shovel guitar comes in, but the shovel will be in with a bunch of hardware or junk or whatever. Everything on stage is either a prop or an instrument, and when you go to the show, it's going to be like going to see Blue Man Group. So it's coming back. All right, that's about all I got for you guys. It's Friday. You guys go have a beer for me, and remember, follow Shane Speal Snake Oil Band on Facebook, because you're going to get one cigar box guitar lesson a day posted over there. So my name's Shane Speal. Love you guys, and it's a Gitty Gang show on Cigar Box Nation TV. It's a Gitty Gang show on Cigar Box Nation TV. It's coming to you live from my basement. It's coming to you live every Friday afternoon at 3. It's coming to you live every Friday afternoon at 3. Oh, what is his lyric? How sad we can be. Like, what's a better lyric for there? We're coming to you live every Friday afternoon at 3, and if we don't see you, how sad we would be. No, let's do something better here. Come to you live every Friday afternoon at 3. At 3. It's coming to you live every Friday afternoon at 3. Give me a lyric. Come on, someone, hurry up. Come on, give me something. What rhymes with 3? Be, now I'm going outside, make a diddly bow on a tree. I don't know. It's a Gitty Gang show. It's a Gitty Gang show. It's a Gitty Gang show on Cigar Box Nation TV. It's a Gitty Gang show on Cigar Box Nation TV. My name's Shane Speal. Good night.